Hello, everybody. And a hello to you too, Ava.
Court is on the record in City of Conneaut versus Brian Surrey, case numbers 24 CRB 335 and 24 CRB 336. Mr. Surrey was arrested on criminal charges filed against him in both of these cases, as well as an outstanding warrant that was issued in 24 TRD 100. Due to internet issues, Mr. Surrey has been brought up from the Conneaut City Jail, where he is incarcerated, and is appearing at this hearing by in person. Mr. Surrey, criminal charges have been filed against you in both of these cases. I see that you've received copies of both complaints.
Yeah, just received it.
I'm going to read you your rights, so please pay attention to the rights I'm about to read to you. You do have a right to be informed of and to understand the nature and the elements of the charges filed against you. You also have a right to know the potential penalties that could be imposed. Case number 24 CRB 335, you are charged with one count of menacing by stalking. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. If convicted of this offense, you face a maximum 6 months in jail and a maximum fine of $1,000. Do you understand the maximum potential penalties?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's also one other consequence associated with menacing by stalking. If you are convicted in this case of menacing by stalking, and then are charged at any time in the future with menacing by stalking, the future charge could be enhanced in severity, could be more serious because of this menacing by stalking conviction. Do you understand that?
Can I ask a question? What is a menacing by stalking? What is the...
Okay, well, as I'm going to read it to you. Can you read and write?
A little bit, I can't read.
Okay, well, I'll read it for you.
Yes, sir.
It says that on the 27th day of October 2024 in the city of Conneaut, Brian Surrey did knowingly engage in a pattern of conduct causing another person to believe that the offender will cause physical harm to the other person or a family or household member of the other person, or cause mental distress to the other person or a family or household member of the other person, namely Justice Wallace Sprinkle, in violation of Section 537.051A1 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Conneaut.
That's my kid's mother. I have not seen...
Mr. Surrey, I'm not here to argue this case with you. I'm not here to even listen to your side of the story. It's my job procedurally to advise you of your rights and to ensure that your rights are protected. Did you understand the complaint I just read? Okay.
And did you understand that you cannot have any contact with Justice Lawless Sprinkle?
In the other case, 24 CRB 336, you're charged with resisting arrest. That is a second-degree misdemeanor where it reads that Brian Surrey, on or about the 27th day of October 2024 in the city of Conneaut, did recklessly or by force, resist or interfere with the lawful arrest of himself or another, in violation of Section 525.09A of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Conneaut, Ohio. Did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll start. Yes, menacing by stalking, 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine maximum. The resisting arrest charge, which I've just read to you, is a second-degree misdemeanor. The maximum potential penalties you face is 90 days in jail and a $750 fine. Do you understand the maximum potential penalties on that charge?
Yes, sir.
You have a right to remain silent and not to say anything during this hearing that might incriminate yourself. Any statement you make could be used against you. You also have a right to a trial to the court. Because you are charged with offenses that carry a possible jail sentence, you also have a right to a jury trial, provided that you timely file with the court a written demand for a jury trial. At trial, you have the right to confront and ask questions of any witnesses who would testify against you. You also have a right to use the court process to secure the attendance of any witness who you would want to testify on your behalf. At trial, you have the right to be proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and a right not to testify. You also have a right to have an attorney represent you in this proceeding. Because you are charged with offenses that carry a possible jail sentence, you do have a right to court-appointed counsel and to have a lawyer assigned to represent you, only if you cannot afford one. If you do qualify for court-appointed counsel, there is a $25 application fee and a $50 cost reimbursement assessment that apply. You also have a right to a continuance of this initial appearance hearing in order to retain the services of your own attorney or to consult with your own lawyer. If you are convicted of either or both of these charges or any related offense, you have a right to appeal the conviction or sentence. That must be done within 30 days of the conviction, and you would be entitled to a court-appointed attorney in the Court of Appeals if you receive a jail sentence and cannot afford a lawyer. Now, if you plead not guilty today to both of these charges or either of these charges, I will set your case or cases for further proceedings after today, and I will set a bond. A bond is set by the court to ensure your appearance at all future proceedings as well as to protect public safety. And today you have the right to a reasonable bond. If you are not a citizen of the United States, you are hereby advised that conviction of the offense to which you could be pleading guilty or no contest may have the consequences of deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization pursuant to the laws of the United States. Now, Mr. Suri, you have three plea options with respect to each of these charges. You can either plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you plead guilty, that is a complete admission by you to the offense charged. If you plead guilty, the court will find you guilty, and then I will impose sentence. The second option is you can plead not guilty. If you plead not guilty, that is a denial by you to the offense charged. And as I said earlier, if you plead not guilty, I will set your case for further proceedings after today, and I will set a bond. The third option is you can plead no contest. If you plead no contest, that is not an admission of your guilt, but it is an admission by you of the truth of the facts alleged in the complaint filed against you. If you enter a plea of no contest, this court will find you guilty, and I will impose sentence without any evidence being presented against you. However, the plea of no contest cannot be used against you in any later civil or criminal proceedings. Mr. Suri, do you have any questions regarding the rights and plea options that I've just explained to you?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll start with the first charge in 24 CRB 335. This is a charge of menacing by stalking, first-degree misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay. And in 24 CRB 336, to the charge of resisting arrest, a second-degree misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, the court will accept not guilty pleas in both cases. Are you asking the court to consider appointing an attorney to represent you?
Yes, sir, please.
Do you have any source of income?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I work at the Jefferson Gallery Tattoo Studio, and I'm also roofing.
So both of those are part-time?
My tattooing is only appointments only, but the roofing is every weekday.
Is that seasonal though? Do you work throughout the
It
year?
depends on what we have, because I know when the weather starts going, we have the church down on Creek Road. Like we just had the roof on that. And
Who do you work for? What's the name?
Joe,
Joe what?
I don't know his last name, but Jesse. What's his name? Jesse White is the boss that does the roofing and stuff there.
What do you get paid roofing?
$20 an hour.
How many hours a week do you work?
40.
And how many months of a year do you work?
That I just started that a couple months ago.
Do you work throughout? You don't know. Do you work throughout the year?
Yeah, I was supposed to be working throughout the whole year. They had work all the way up. They have more contracts coming in.
So you work in the winter?
Yeah, we're working in the winter, but not doing the roofing. It's going to be doing inside stuff like finishing, remodeling.
Okay, so you do more than just roofing.
Yeah, it's more construction than contracting and everything like that.
And you've been doing that for a couple months?
Yeah, I've been doing contracting my whole life, but I just started with these guys not too long ago.
Right now, I'm trying to figure out whether you qualify for court-appointed counsel, and it sounds to me like you make too much money to qualify. That's what I'm trying to get at, Mr. Surrey.
I just started working there not too long ago, but
Where did you work before?
the gallery in Jefferson. And the tattoo, that's really slow these days. I haven't been able to get a whole lot of tattoos.
Is that your business or someone else's?
No, that's someone else's.
How much on average do you make at the gallery?
A week or a month. It all depends. Like I can get nothing in a week.
On average? A week or a month? Whatever's easier for you.
300 a month.
And then, where did you work before this job? You have a company you don't even know who you work for.
It's not even a company. It's just a bunch of guys that do the roofing.
How do you get paid?
Through Joe.
But you get paid. You get a paycheck?
No, it's cash.
Okay.
They get the contracts and just hire me.
Okay. Where did you work before this?
The gallery.
Full time?
Yep. I wasn't making a whole lot of nothing, though. I had to do something.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to preliminarily appoint the public defender's office to represent you. There's a public defender's representative. I'll make sure she gets her form. Representative here in this building today. And I'm going to say subject to the public defender qualification. Financial disclosure form that you're going to have to complete. Okay, now I'm going to address the issue of bond. And by the way, if you do not qualify for court-appointed counsel, you should get an attorney. I'm going to address the issue of bond. On this other case where I issued a warrant for your arrest in 24 TRD 100, you pled guilty to charges of failure to reinstate your license and a muffler violation back on February 20th of 2024. As part of your sentence, I ordered you to perform 25 hours of community work service by May 31st, 2024. We gave you a form. I gave you a hearing date. I have your signed receipt indicating you received notice of that hearing for June 6, 2024. You failed to appear for that hearing, which resulted in the issuance of a warrant in that case. So help me understand, Mr. Surrey, because this goes directly to the issue of whether you're able to appear or whether you would appear for any future hearings. Help me understand.
It's my fault. I did everything I was supposed to, and I got my brother's the pastor down at the community church, and I did all the work there. Come to find out, I had to get a hold of you to see if I was even able to do the work and get the hours there.
Yeah, that's what it says. That's what the paperwork says that we gave you.
Right.
If you want to use another company or another nonprofit, you have to get, that's not already on our list. You have to give us pre-approval.
Yeah, that's my fault.
So where is the paperwork?
It's at my house.
So what did you just think? You just going to avoid
I did
it?
the hours and stuff, and I was going to get a hold of you guys. And every time I came up here, it was either, hey, you guys need to pay this, and I'm like, all right, I can't pay that right now. So the $120 and stuff. And they were supposed to get a hold of you and ask if I was able to do that. I had to write a letter.
Yeah, Mr. Surrey, whatever excuses you're giving me are just going in one ear out the other, because that's all they are, excuses. Yeah, you're supposed to get a hold of me, which means you're supposed to write a letter, which means you do something to get in touch with me.
Yes, sir.
So why didn't you?
I'm sorry, sir.
No, why?
What?
Help me understand why.
There's just a lot of things going on in my mind, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry. It won't happen again.
The law director has submitted a written bond recommendation asking that bond be set in the amount of $10,000 personal recognizance in both of these current cases. The allegations are that on October 27, 2024, the defendant caused Justice Sprinkle to believe he would cause her physical harm. Justice is a woman. Cause her physical harm by following her vehicle and driving by her residence numerous times. The defendant resisted arrest when arrested on this charge and warrants, and asking that the defendant be ordered to have no contact with Justice Sprinkle and the property located at the street in Conneaut. Where do you live? How long have you lived there?
3 years.
Are you the tenant or are you living with someone else?
Tenant.
Is there any reason you need to be in contact with Justice Sprinkle?
She's the mother of my child.
Okay.
And I have not been, I've been trying to contact her on the phone.
Do you have a court order? Do you have court order visitation rights?
I don't have any, I don't have anything for her.
When was the last time you've seen your child?
About 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I've been trying to get a hold of her numerous times. I've been messaging her on her phone, no answer, no nothing. Anytime I went to go by her house, just knock on the door to see if my kids are there, she had moved. She was living at the apartments up in Highland apartment, I think that's what they are, up in Ashtabula, and I went there, there's no answer, no nothing.
So you established as the father?
I am the father.
Okay, are you paying child support?
No, there's nothing that's been submitted or anything like that.
And the child is how old?
3. White Surrey.
Help me understand, you were convicted of fleeing and eluding in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes, about 4 years ago.
It's more like 3 years ago. So,
I was on probation for about 4 years through the year, and I did really good. The only thing I ask is a little bit of help with substance abuse, like alcohol. I don't know the right way to go about, I need to talk to a counselor about how to go about any more help or help at all.
what's the last time you received treatment?
For alcohol? Never.
For any treatment? Any substance abuse treatment?
I've never been on substance abuse.
You have never received treatment?
Well, that was a DUI, I believe, right? Last one?
Yeah, there's some DUI stuff in there too. Is the Lark here?
I believe so.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to follow the prosecutor's bond recommendation. Case number 24 CRB 335, $10,000 personal recognizance. The defendant is ordered not to consume or possess alcohol or drugs. He is subject to random chemical testing by probation and law enforcement. He is to have no contact with the alleged victim, Justice Sprinkle. He is to remain off the premises. Just not off the premises. I don't want you on the street.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, 141 Conneaut. While this case is pending, I am ordering the defendant to undergo an alcohol drug assessment with the Lake Area Recovery Center. There is a representative here today, and she may have time to meet with you in the jail or at some time before you're released to get that process started. In the resisting arrest case, $5,000 personal recognizance, same conditions, not consume or possess alcohol or drugs, subject to random chemical testing, and to undergo an alcohol drug assessment with the Lake Area Recovery Center. Where did you do your community work service at? Which church?
The Conneaut Community Church.
Excuse me?
Conneaut Community Church.
The Conneaut Community Church? What's your brother's name?
Matt Surrey.
Matt Surrey. Where's the Conneaut Community Church?
It's right down the road here, on Buffalo. Right on the edge of Buffalo. It used to be Free Will Baptist, then they changed the name to Conneaut Community Church.
You mean right along the railroad tracks?
No, right by, you know where McDonald's is? And O'Reilly's?
Oh, you're talking about the church, the old Episcopal church, across from, okay. So you did work for them, and you have paperwork to show me.
I did the work and I looked at the paperwork again. I'm like, well, I didn't have this place as a allowable thing, so I was going to write you a letter about that.
Guess what?
I didn't.
You better submit it. I'm going to hold a contempt proceeding on the same date and time as the pretrial conference in these other cases. If you fail to bring in paperwork,
Yes, sir.
which if it is the Conneaut Community Church, I'm a little concerned. I think your brother should be here too.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned that a family member is the one supervising your community work service. But if it is a community work church, I'll allow it. but you better bring in paperwork and maybe even your brother to vouch for you.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, I'll throw you back in jail. Look, Mr. Surrey, I'm not messing around with you. You're in my jurisdiction now. If you fail to appear for another hearing, if you have any contact with Justice Sprinkle, if you're on Green Street, if you don't do anything that I've just ordered you to do with respect to the alcohol drug treatment or staying drug and alcohol free, I'll revoke your bond and I'll make sure when you're arrested, you sit in jail as long as I can keep you there. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take him out of here. Get him out. Thank you.
I love you all so much. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.